There is a number that should terrify you. Not the national debt, not inflation, not stock market swings. Something far closer to home and far more dangerous. The number is 97. 97 out of every 100 people who earn a salary, receive raises, and believe they are doing everything right will retire with almost nothing saved. Not because they were lazy, not because the system failed them, but because of something happening inside the mind, invisible, automatic, that almost no one ever notices. Federal Reserve data is clear. The top 3% of U.S. wealth holders control more than half of all wealth in the country. The other 97% share what remains, and most of it is nearly gone. In 2024, roughly 64% of Americans reported living paycheck to paycheck. That includes people earning six figures, people with degrees, people who, on paper, should be completely fine. The problem is not simply income. People on both sides of this divide earn real money. The difference is a single behavioral pattern repeated for years that most people never consciously chose. This gap is not created at retirement, not at 50 or 40 or even 30. It is created in a single behavioral pattern, adopted without ever consciously choosing it, repeated across decades. This pattern has a name, and once you understand it, once you truly see it, you cannot unsee it. Everything you thought you knew about money will shift. Stay with us. The knowledge to escape this has never been hidden. It has always been available. The real question, the one that deserves your full attention, is why almost nobody actually uses it. Millions of people read the books, watch the videos, attend the seminars. The information is everywhere. Yet the savings rates don't improve. The numbers don't move. Why? Everything seemed manageable. Every raise felt like progress. Every purchase felt earned. Until the years passed, and the account balance told a very different story than expected. Let's establish exactly what we are talking about, and why it matters more right now than it ever has before. This is not history. This is happening to real people in real time. The divide between the 3% and the 97% is not an accident of fate. It is the predictable result of a pattern most people follow, not from ignorance, but from something much deeper. When most people receive a raise, a promotion, a bonus, a better job, something predictable happens. Something that has been documented consistently across every income level studied. Their spending rises to meet the new income. Not all at once, gradually. A nicer apartment, a newer car, better restaurants, a subscription here, an upgrade there. It feels like progress. This is called lifestyle inflation. Behavioral economists have documented it across every income bracket. It does not discriminate. It follows the raise like a shadow, always, almost without exception. The insidious part? It feels like a reward. You earned more, so you spend more. That is the logical sequence most people follow, without ever pausing to question whether it is leading them forward. The average American spends $1,497 per month on non-essentials: entertainment, dining, subscriptions, convenience. This holds whether someone earns $50,000 or $120,000 a year. The percentage of income spent changes. The behavior does not. That is the core of the problem, and it is why income alone will never be the solution most people believe it will be. Warren Buffett earned his first dollar investing at age 11. He was worth $1 million by 30. Most people quote these facts, but almost everyone misses what the numbers actually mean. 99% of Buffett's total wealth was accumulated after his 52nd birthday, not from a new strategy. Compound interest had been running silently for 4 decades, building the machine. The machine was already built. It just needed time. The people who become wealthy understand this. The rest are still waiting for a strategy that will finally make the difference. But here is where the story takes a darker turn. What if the problem goes even deeper than spending habits? What if the real issue is something happening long before the purchase is made? Behavioral economists have studied this for decades. The conclusion is consistent. For most people, money is not primarily a math problem. It is something far more personal and far more powerful. Your spending patterns are not random. They are a direct reflection of how you see yourself and how you want the world to see you. This is not weakness. It is deeply human psychology. The car you drive, the neighborhood you live in, the brands you wear. These are not just purchases. They are signals to yourself and to others about who you believe you are. When a raise arrives, the unconscious mind does not ask, "How do I build wealth?" It asks, "What does someone at this income level look like?" And then it goes shopping. Most financial content tells you exactly what to do. Invest early. Spend less than you earn. Build an emergency fund. Max your retirement account. You have heard all of this before. Almost everyone has heard this. The information is free, available, and repeated constantly. And yet, the savings rates don't improve. The paycheck-to-paycheck numbers don't move. If the information is available, why doesn't it change behavior? The answer is uncomfortable. For most people, money is not a math problem. It is an identity problem. Full stop. Social signaling, spending to reflect and project an identity, is the single most reliable predictor of why people with high incomes still arrive at retirement with nothing substantial saved. This is not stupidity. This is not weakness. It is a deeply human psychological response, documented, studied, and almost never discussed in the financial advice most people receive. The pressure to appear successful, to match or exceed neighbors, colleagues, peers, is constant and largely unconscious. This social comparison is one of the strongest drivers of lifestyle inflation. Here is what nobody in financial media will say directly. The information has never been the problem. The wiring has. And rewiring requires understanding something that money alone cannot fix. This pattern plays out over years, sometimes decades. Every raise absorbed, every windfall spent, and at the end, a retirement account that barely exists, despite a career of real earnings. Same income, same career length, wildly different outcomes, determined not by luck or intelligence, but by one behavioral pattern, maintained or broken in the earliest earning years. Every person in that crowd will earn income. Most will receive raises. A handful will understand what to do with the gap between earnings and spending. The rest will fill it with lifestyle. Millions search for fast answers. Fast answers don't exist. The mechanism behind wealth is slow, quiet, and deeply boring, which is exactly why almost no one stays with it long enough. The years compound, just like interest does. Wait to understand this, and the math begins working against you. Start now, and the same math becomes the most powerful tool you will ever own. Here is what the 3% understand that the 97% don't. Wealth is not built by earning more. It is built by creating a gap, a permanent, protected gap between earnings and lifestyle costs. This gap, maintained deliberately over time, is where all wealth is built, not in the stock picks, not in the timing, in the space between what you earn and what your life costs. The only way to create and protect that gap permanently is to make one decision that runs counter to every social instinct. Your lifestyle will not grow as fast as your income grows. Not forever. Not as punishment. As a temporary and deliberate strategy. One that the majority of people never deploy. Because it requires resisting the desire for visible progress. The brain processes incoming money as available by default. The moment funds appear in a checking account, the spending mind has already claimed them. This is neurological, not moral. When money is moved automatically before it reaches a checking account, it is never mentally classified as available. It does not exist in the spending brain. It exists only in the building brain. This is the pay yourself first principle. It is not a new idea. What is new is understanding exactly why it works on a neurological level and why the automation is the critical element. The paycheck arrives. The investment is already gone. What remains is what the lifestyle is built on. And that lifestyle, slowly, quietly, naturally, adjusts to the smaller baseline.
$1,000 invested at age 22 at the S&P 500's century-long average return of 10% becomes approximately $72,000 by retirement. Most people never invest that first $1,000, not because they don't have the money, because the lifestyle has already claimed it. In 100 small decisions, each one reasonable, each one adding up to a silent retirement crisis. For decades, this mechanism has quietly driven almost every wealth gap in America. Not by conspiracy, not by accident, by default, by the simple compounding of behavioral choices made early. The person building wealth takes a raise and increases their investment rate first, before the lifestyle adjusts, before the brain recalibrates what normal feels like. This timing is everything. The raise arrives. The investment increases immediately, before the lifestyle can adjust. The brain never experiences the full amount as available. The gap is protected before it is threatened. Over 10 years, this behavioral difference, not income, not intelligence, not opportunity, accounts for nearly all of the wealth gap between the top 3% and the remaining 97% of earners. Money flows where the channels are built. The people who build investment channels early, even small ones, end up with rivers. The rest end up watching from the dry banks of the delta. Same income, same career. But scenario A began 15 years earlier. The difference? Nearly $800,000 was created entirely by when the first contribution was made. It does not require a high income to start. It requires a decision made once, early, and automated, before the lifestyle and the social brain have a chance to intercept the money. Behind each of those windows is a financial story in progress. Most will follow the default pattern. A small number will not. That difference, compounded across decades, is everything. This is not historical. Inflation over the past 3 years has eroded the purchasing power of savings sitting in basic bank accounts by 3 to 4% per year. That money is quietly disappearing. People who kept money safe in low-yield bank accounts lost real purchasing power every single year while believing they were being responsible. Caution became its own form of financial risk. Meanwhile, index fund investors, people who simply automated a percentage of income into broad market funds and did nothing else, saw compounding continue uninterrupted through every disruption. The modern economy is extraordinarily efficient at absorbing every dollar before it can compound. One-click purchasing, subscription creep, and digital convenience have accelerated the gap. The infrastructure of modern consumption is designed at every level to capture your next dollar before you can redirect it. Knowing this does not automatically change behavior. Action does. Here is your practical exit. Step 1. Calculate your actual savings rate, the percentage of take-home income that becomes invested assets. Not emergency funds, not savings accounts. Invested. Step 2. The next raise you receive, deploy it before your lifestyle touches it. Increase your investment contribution the same week, before the brain recalibrates, before anything adjusts. Let the gap grow. Let the machine build. The compound interest does not require your attention or your effort. It only requires that you do not interrupt it. That is the complete strategy.
The disciplined investor does not react to headlines. The contribution continues. The gap holds. And during every market decline, assets are purchased at lower prices, automatically, quietly, without drama. Most people will never connect these dots. They will earn the same raises, read the same headlines, and arrive at the same retirement shortfall. The pattern continues for the unconscious majority. The pattern can be broken. It can be taught. The earlier it is understood, the longer the machine has to run. Every year of delay is not neutral. It is a compounding cost that cannot be recovered. Financial literacy, taught early, changes outcomes dramatically, but the school system rarely covers this. The responsibility to learn it falls to the individual, and most never seek it out. Beginning at 22 instead of 35 with the same monthly contribution can mean a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars at retirement, not from extra effort, from extra time. The machine does not announce itself. It does not create dramatic moments. It grows quietly in the background while life continues, and reveals itself only to those who were patient enough to begin. This is happening across America right now in real time. The gap is widening between those who understand this mechanism and those who don't. The next decade will make it impossible to ignore. We started with a number, 97. That number represents the majority. People who worked hard their entire lives and arrived at the end without the financial safety they believed they had built. For most, the realization arrives too late. The retirement account is too small. The time to compound is gone. The math no longer cooperates. This is the quiet crisis of the 97%. The path out of it has never been about secret strategies or exclusive access. It has always been one decision, made early, repeated consistently, protected from the brain that would spend it. The knowledge has always existed. The tools are available. What has been missing, for most people, is the moment of genuine clarity, when the mechanism finally becomes impossible to ignore. This is the moment. For some, it comes at 22. For others, 35. For a few, 50. What matters is not when it arrives, but what happens in the first week after it does. Speed of execution is everything. It is happening right now in apartments, offices, and kitchens across America. People who saw the mechanism and chose to act. The gap between them and the rest will not stop growing. The financial industry profits from complexity, but the wealth-building mechanism itself is simple. The gap, the automation, the time. That is the complete formula, and it has never changed. Compound interest runs like traffic, always moving, always building, always going somewhere. The only question is whether you have placed anything into that system yet. The clock does not pause. This is what the machine looks like when it has had time to run. Not a windfall, not luck. The result of one decision, automated, protected, and compounded across 20 years of normal life. This is what financial security actually looks like. Not a mansion, not a yacht. Just options. The freedom to choose what the next day looks like without fear driving the answer. If this story was worth your time, help us find the next one. The next video goes deeper. The hidden psychology of debt. Why people who escape it return. And the one shift that breaks the cycle. The truth is stranger than most people are prepared to hear. But the ones who hear it and act will always look back at this moment as the one that changed everything. Everything starts now.